Hello everybody, welcome to another Zabbix video. This time we are using Zabbix agent to help up orphaned files on a Linux server. My use case in particular is when we do sometimes upgrade packages via apt on Ubuntu or Debian or with a DNF on the Red Hat type of system. Then by upgrading a certain application, they kind of like create a new config file in parallel in the same directory where the real configuration file is located. So this new configuration file reflects like what's the stock version of that config on that particular version of the product. And in case of I want to create like a golden backup, I start to not enjoy those files, and I want to create a procedure how to like get rid of them in an automated way. So we will create a template which detects existence of a file, and if file is detected, then the trigger will execute action, and the Zabbix agent will actually delete the file from the file system. Here on screen there is a template already. The template right now do not own any items and triggers, but I have linked this template to my root level of Linux template. This Linux template has been applied to 10 Linux servers in my infrastructure. Okay, and to highlight those file names, here they are. For example, like when we upgrade Zabbix agent on Ubuntu or Debian, it will create such configuration file, and I personally never use them. I don't touch them. And on the Red Hat system, it creates rpm new, rpm save, and I do know like where to look for the stock version online. Like the very great version is git.zabbix.com, at least for the agent config. We can always study what's the stock version of these configuration files. I really don't enjoy them keeping on the file system. So I want to detect if this file exists, and if yes, then remove it. Let's start with the first file. Copy the file path to the clipboard. Go to items, create new item. We will use active checks only. By the way, starting with version 7.0, it's possible to run remote commands via active checks. If we have 7.0 agent, if we have 7.0 proxy and server, and also need to have a quite recent minor version. I'm testing this tutorial with the 7.0.13, and I know there was issues in the past. If we have 7.04 proxy or agent, it might not work. Let's continue, and the item in charge is virtual file system file exists, and we put the full path over here. So this is a dedicated item key which is returning either 0 or 1. If file exists, it reports back 1. Okay, and let's put also the file name the same, and for the sake of tutorial, I will use like some sort of global macro remove. While doing this tutorial, I will set update frequency very aggressive, but in a production, when the template is ready, then once per hour or once per day, it's absolutely fine to double check if the file exists, and if yes, then let's do the remove operation. Timeout, like no more than 1 second, should be spent to deal with this reading, and let's set like clean up, something like that. No, I don't like it. Orphaned. Okay, so this is one file. Let's copy this macro to the clipboard. Add. Setting this value at the template level, I will execute every 6 seconds. So this is the item key which will read if the file exists in every Linux server. What next? Trigger, and inside the trigger we can tell I want to remove the file, remove, and then from the from the clipboard this is the file. And so what we will do is look on the item. If the item reports like 1, the file exists. I personally always like disaster type of severity is sent to my mobile, just to like be in the loop when Zabbix is doing sensitive stuff. Then I prefer to receive such information, and the magic will happen like the remedy operation will be placed inside the trigger description. This is maybe not so obvious for everyone, but I find it very like fancy and modern. Like the trigger detects a problem, and the way to fix the problem, like the technical command to fix the problem, is listed in the trigger description. So we can do like rm rf and then the full path. So this is solution, and just because this rm is quite sensitive, there is just a little bit safer way to do that. Otherwise, like if we have space here, then it's a disaster, or even more than disaster. And we can do like cd and navigate to the directory where the file is located. And inside the bash, if we have and, it means like if the step on the left side succeeded successful, then proceed with the command on the right side. And this would be the full order, like I'm changing directory to etc Zabbix. If this operation is successful, let's proceed removing the file. If we replace this with the semicolon, it's not a professional way. It will blindly execute the first command and blindly continue with the second command. Even if this was not successful, it's not good for. So this is professional way. If we success, then we remove the file. And that's that. And so adding this remedy operation as a trigger, add. And now I will highlight like we need a script to do the actual task. A script, and the script looks like this. Execute trigger description. It's like it's not built in. I have to manually create. So go to this very section, enter the execute trigger description, select action operation, script, Zabbix agent, and place this built-in macro as a command. So the action is reading what's inside the trigger description, and I placed there a sensitive command, and after that it will know what to do. So it's dangerous, it's sensitive, but with the great responsibility comes great power. Okay, let's so this is the action. We have to make that already, and I'm using this method already in my other actions. Now let's create a very dedicated action to deal with this particular use case, and it must be done under the alerts, actions, trigger actions, create action. I call it execute trigger description. And conditions, like I would like to have like 2-level protection, which would be tag value. One is like conf maintain. That's my preference. Like this task is related to maintaining good consistency of configuration files. So that tag must exist somewhere to proceed with the sensitive operation, add. And I would like to add another one, execute description. Execute description. Looks correct. Add, and I have here AND operation, and A and B. So both these conditions must be true to proceed with the sensitive operation. Here operation will be execute trigger description. Starting with Zabbix 6.0, there is like a separate script section where we place all the sensitive commands. If the audit comes to the company, then we can show like what kind of sensitive operations Zabbix can do. So it will use agent on the current host. Add And yeah, actually I forgot to address, like, this is very sensitive, and the agent configuration file is using allow key system.run, so practically anything agent can do. Also allow root equals 1. If we check systemctl edit Zabbix agent, there is like service user runs under the root user. If we check the actual service state, agent D, something like that, then we see the agent service runs behind the root user. If you try to replicate this tutorial, then after changing the edit Zabbix agent, we need to run this command systemctl daemon reload. Only then the systemd will kind of respect the service to become a root user. Okay, so that is a prerequisite. And now the labeling. So here the action is ready. Add. The action expects to have two conditions, and inside the template level or inside the trigger level, I like to take like here execute description. So this will trigger a sensitive operation. And not only this, but also inside the template level, I would say, like, this template is to clean up some stuff, some sensitive operations. Conf maintain update. So now we have two conditions. Okay, does it work? And right now, let's check like this very file inside the latest data page on all the Linux servers. This is a trigger. The item name is this. Copy. And if I search in the latest data page, then apply, we can see like I have like 10 servers, and this item key is running, and every 6 seconds it checks if the file exists, and obviously it does not exist. And so what I will do is I will create the file right now. And to do that, like echo something, and like here, boom. And this server is called pod. And maybe here we have the pod, and maybe it will change this very integer to something different. And yes, so it detected the file, and in the very moment it kind of needs to execute that thing, and since it happens super fast, I think if I refresh it will go back to the 0 and job done. Refresh, and it just disappeared. If I check here list and what's inside the folder, and there is no such thing. I just made it, but it got removed. Actually, I do log the commands just because this is like log remote commands. We can see the sensitive operation probably if we do the grep something like rm with the space in the beginning and space at the end, log Zabbix agent 2, click, and we can see in the very moment when exactly it happened. I have 1600, and in the 1559 it did execute this sensitive operation. The agent did something, and we can see in history that I'm using this solution myself pretty heavily, and removing some stuff in different directories. How it looks like inside the problems page, we can click right on the server title and visit the problems over here, click, and history, and maybe we can search here remove, enter, and this is the thing, duration 12 seconds. If we click on the title here, then we can see the very command, shrinking down the font size. The remote command happens on the server, cd, and what exactly gets cleaned. That is everything. Yeah, just to show like what's the maintenance cost to implement the next one. So what I would do, I'm cloning this guy and changing, like implementing the next file name, copy, and putting it over here as a file name, over here, add. Now click here on the trigger, open trigger, click clone, and change the full path over here. Maybe change full path over here. It's not a maybe, it's a mandatory thing. And in the very bottom, like I want to remove the correct file. Of course, we can feed this in through the low-level discovery, but since I'm using such sensitive thing, that's no from me. That's like extra risk. If the LLD macro does not expand, then it will be a disaster. So if I do such sensitive operation, then better to hard code every single file and hard code exact remedy command what I want to remove. That is everything. If you find this video helpful, useful, give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.